Alright, Dan.
Do it with 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 Dan. Do it with Dan.
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 Dan. Dan. Dan.
Do it with Dan! Do it! Do it with Dan! Fucking just do it! Fucking do it!
So. What's up, guys? Just kind of talk to you a little bit about where I live. I probably look like a fucking fool with my helmet on, but this is St. Simon's Island in Glenn County, Georgia. I've lived in this area now for about, I want to say 4 years, going on 5 years, something like that. I just finished up my 4th year of college, so going on 5 years, yeah. And it's just absolutely beautiful down here, man. Resistance. Let's take a little tour on the island, man. You guys have asked me to do this a couple times, and I figured why not finally get around to doing it. Start the tour here. This is Ghoul's Inlet on St. Simon's. So we'll start at, this is like all the way on the south side of the island. It's just absolutely wonderful, man. And this isn't gonna be like a normal vlog either, like where I'm all giddy and excited, because I'm just like I'm just relaxed and chilling, man. Figured to show you guys a little bit around the area where I live. Currently, I do not live on the island right now. I'm moving over the island here with Laura in August. So in the meantime, I'm just kind of like I'm living in Brunswick, which isn't bad, but it ain't no anything cool down here. Probably not. I forget these streets. These streets are old as fuck too, man. These things have been yeah, they're getting too sandy. That's another access to the beach too, and which is fine, you know, but I'm not gonna get on the beach on the bike. Not today, guys. St. Simon's Island is just this, it's a really beautiful place to live. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great. It's a beautiful island, really secluded and shit like that, you know. I mean, people just kind of just relax out here. Absolutely beautiful out here, but it's cool to see like the different types of levels of income you see out here, man. Like these houses, just because they're on an island, cost so much more, right? Like these houses right here, like fucking buy one of these houses in, let's say, like Brunswick, be paying like $100,000, no big deal. But since they're on the island, man, they're like, lots like this go for upwards up to $1 million, which is just ridiculous. Like think about it, like that, not to be rude to people's houses, but that house is not $1 million house. But that property would go for $1 million, give or take. The market's kind of odd. And then up here to our left, we have the Coast Guard station. And this is where the public beach access is. This is where pretty much everyone goes to go to the beach is here. I'm gonna regret going on the sand in my fucking slick ass tires, but hopefully I won't dump it and look like a total asshole. And these houses right here, millions of dollars. Those condo houses, I know it's gonna sound weird. I'm not really much of a babysitter, but I've babysat someone or a family's kids that live in a house like this, and these houses go here for upwards of, you know, the tens of millions of dollars because they're beachfront. You know, they start at like $1 million and some change, and then as you work your way down, they get more and more expensive, you know. I think some houses on the end here go for tens of millions of dollars. Doll hairs. Chill. It's expensive, man. That's fucking ridiculous, you know. I mean, for Georgia, man. Georgia's supposed to be cheap living. Take my bike to the beach. Yeah, that's a good idea, Dan. Fucking do it with dumbass. Get to wash my bike twice when I get home. Throw that frisbee. Yeah. Woohoo! Made it, I guess. This right here is the rich people houses. We'll go and look at the rich people houses. Hopefully I have enough camera battery life and everything to kind of show you guys around this island. I won't spend time in bullshit housing like this. But these are where the houses, these are, you know, 3 to 4 story houses that just go fucking straight up, and they're so beautiful. This house right here on the corner is the one that I used to babysit in, and she used to pay us really well, but I think she's since moved out. I don't think this is the same person who lives here. And then there's a pool here at the end of the road. So I mean, this is like some New Orleans shit right here. This is like what every house in New Orleans looks like, I guess. I don't know. I've only been to New Orleans once, and I was really hammered. But I can remember even when she'd invite us over to not babysit, we'd be over on the top roof up there and fucking drink and have fun and, you know, whatever. She's really cool. She lives in New Jersey half the time, but like I said, I think she moved back to New Jersey. I hadn't heard anything from her for like 2 years. And then there's literally like mirrored images of this neighborhood all the way down that way, so I'm not even bothered going down that way. Bumper cars. Thank God that sun's not directly in my face and bright and everything like that. It'd make it really hard to see where I'm going on the motorcycle. And then this is just like, you know, Brunswick and the island itself, since it's southern coastal waters, are just surrounded by this shitty marsh. You know, like this is what it all looks like around here. And the Battle of the Bloody Marsh and shit like that, that might ring a bell. I mean, I'm no historian or nothing like that, so don't expect me to be giving no history lessons. Around here, just a little bit. Alrighty then. But you know, like I was saying before, you get to see different types of people with different types of finances here, right? There's people who've been here for years that are just kind of like rooted in from their family, so don't necessarily have like a lot of money. They just have property here, which is valued high, I guess. But you know, there's like trailer parks on the island and shit like that, so it's a little bit different. Like here, we're coming up on a trailer park right now, St. Simon's Island Trailer Park, and there it is. So I mean, there's freaking multi-million-dollar homes here, and then there's trailers, which I think that's kind of cool to see. And especially since the trailers live directly across from the airport, I thought that's pretty awful. That'd be shitty, man. Trailers already have poor insulation on the inside. So what happens, you hear jets flying and taking off all day, and you know, you see a lot of like private jets out there. We saw the Miami Dolphins, they had their jet out there. They had 3 of the Miami Jets, a Dolphin, the Miami Jets. They had 3 of the Miami Dolphins jets out there the other day. So I mean, you get to see kind of like cool shit, and you know, a lot of famous people fly in here just to kind of relax on the island. Obviously, they don't stay on the island because that's still too Commonwealth for most rich people, and they go over to Sea Island, which is this huge fucking resort. It's one of the only places in the world, I think, yeah, it's the only place in the world that's got 4 5-star it's got like 4 5-star restaurants or something like that, so it's like 20 stars. It's the only place in the world that's got 20 stars, other than some place in Dubai, and they said that that doesn't count because the restaurants aren't connected to the same location. So this is the only place in the world with 20-star restaurants or some other shit, I don't really know. And then, you know, St. Simon's is really weird, is riddled with these just empty shops that no one fucking goes to. Like, I mean, I know it's Sunday, but I mean, it's really weird. It's like no one can stay open around here because the cost to have a business on the island is so expensive. And see, there's a fucking airplane just landing right there. Now, you guys might recognize this restaurant if you pay any sort of a fucking attention on TV, but that's Southern Soul Barbecue. It's a pretty famous place to eat at. People come from all over the world just to eat at that fucking restaurant. And I don't know why, it's not that great. Now, like down there, it's called Redfern Village. There's a couple of bars down there, there's a couple of restaurants, there's a couple of different other things, you know. It's pretty all right. You have your, you know, your other bullshit places, you know. Nothing really to kind of shake a stick at around here. Pretty basic, bitch. One of my favorite bars is back over there. It's Castaway. It's a pretty nice place. It's a gay bar, but, you know, whatever. Now we're still heading towards the north part of the island. And along the way, you'll see, like, fucking ridiculous churches like that. Kind of makes you wonder if, you know, what it took to build a church that big. But then again, there's this church up in Griffin that's literally the size of a university, like Griffin, Georgia. There's a church in Griffin, Georgia that's got a huge water fountain out front, like a huge lake with water fountains in it. And it's seriously the size of, it's easily the size of like a college campus, like a really small college campus. It's that big. It's fucking huge. Matter of fact, I think it was meant to be a college, and then they turned it into a church instead because that's better. I think Georgia runs right across that Bible Belt, so you get a lot of like people who are really dedicated to church and stuff. I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing, you know. I'm not trying to, you know, put my religious views into anybody's pockets, but I feel like really big churches kind of take away from the whole idea of going to church. There's like 3 golf courses on the island, I think. I know there's a really big golf course. I think there's 1 or 2 more. I'm not really sure about that since I don't fucking golf. That's another church, by the way. Huge. I'm pretty shit at golf, actually. My dad likes to golf, and I've been golfing with my dad. Another church, man. Bible Belt. I think Georgia's in the Bible Belt. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna Google that when I get home. this is Sea Island Road right here. The road that runs right in front of us. That way is Sea Island. That's where all the freaking rich people go to, like Floyd Mayweather or whoever's important right now. I don't watch sports. All I know is that the motherfucker couldn't read Sea Island Road if he was trying to go down this road. Like, Laura works over there occasionally on the weekends at Sea Island, and she gets to meet all types of cool celebrities every now and again. This is Laura's favorite gas station. I don't know why she's picked a liking for that specific one, but she absolutely loves that one. She goes out of her way to go to it. There's like these 2 or 3 girls that work there that she calls her bitches, that when she goes in and sees, she's like, oh shit, it's my bitches. So that probably has something to do with it. And this right here is Benny's Red Barn. It probably has some of the best steaks and seafood on the island. Well, maybe not the best seafood. They do their shrimp really, really good. It was an actual barn like a long time ago. I mean, a long time ago. It was a real barn. And then they cleared everything out. The people who, I guess, who bought the barn cleared everything out and turned it into a restaurant. And the shit's been pretty much the same ever since. I don't know if I told you guys this, but my dad actually grew up down here on St. Simon's Island. And he moved away from St. Simon's Island after his parents passed away to go to tech school. He moved away from down here to go to tech school and work on airplanes and shit like that. So he worked at Delta for like 30-something years. And my mom lived in Hibbing, Minnesota. She grew up in Hibbing, Minnesota. Well, before I continue this story, I'm not going to bother going right or left because there's absolutely fucking nothing down on this end of the island. Like, it's seriously like desolate neighborhoods with really... Like, this is where people come to get secluded away from... Ooh, my front wheel's slipping on these rocks. I hate these bricks. Yeah, it's where people, like, buy their houses back there to get away from fucking everybody else on the island. Not necessarily cost anymore. It's just kind of... It's like the trip is pretty far. It's a small island, but the trip's far for everyone because the traffic's so slow and the speed limits are so low. But like I said, my mom lived in Hibbing, Minnesota, and then she went to Delta... She went to the Air Force, worked on planes in the Air Force. I guess that's where she got all her certifications. And then she somehow got located in Georgia, working at Delta, and that's where my parents met. And then ta-da, me, hello, me. I lived with them in Atlanta for, you know, up until I was 17. And after I graduated high school, I packed my shit and I moved out. And that was kind of cool. When I was growing up, my dad would always take my mom and I down here as like a vacation thing because he grew up down here. And my dad always talked about retiring back down here, you know, back where he used to live, this, that, and the other. So I've been coming down here since I was like first born. It was just a mixture of different things that made me decide to come down here to go to college. Like, it was cheaper to live in Brunswick than it was in Atlanta. There's a beach. Actually, there was like 3 things. There was the beach, there's the cheap living, and being fucking completely different away from where I lived. Because people got stuck where I grew up. A lot of people got stuck where I grew up. Atlanta's a fucking trap house, man. Well, anyway, my dad retired down here, so they're living back here on the island now, which is kind of cool. A lot of people get confused on my YouTube videos. I've seen a lot of comments kind of speculating. A couple different things. People speculate that either A, that I live with my parents, or B, that all my parents pay for everything. I don't know where that fucking came from. Since I've been working since I was in fucking high school. Don't really know where people got that whole my parents pay for everything type of deal. People say that my parents pay for my car or my bikes or anything like that. If it was up to my parents for me to have a BMW or a motorcycle, I would have neither one of those things. My parents are so fucking against me having fast cars and fast bikes, dude. But I'm 22, man. I've been independent of my parents since I was 17, on my own, you know. And oh, right there, that's just kind of like a cut through to get to back to the east end of the island. But we're gonna go back the way we came. I don't know where that speculation came from. I guess people, they see a young guy with some nice things, and they're so butthurt because they don't have nice things. They gotta go spreading rumors. I'm happy with myself as far as like the work I've put into my career and fucking, you know, college and shit that I've been paying out of pocket, by the way. And I'm not saying that I've never had help from my parents. Every now and again, especially back when I first moved down here, they'd send me like a couple bucks for gas, or, you know, they pay for food for the night or something like that. But other than that, man, I've been completely independent of my parents. I'm working full-time YouTube right now. And before then, I worked, you know, fuck it, I'll drop company names right now, why not? I worked for AT&T, selling phones. I worked for Dick's Sporting Goods, selling sporting equipment. And then I will not be able to say the company that I worked before due to some legal actions. I'm also banned from that place now too because of the whole fucking court settlement, the court agreement. Even though I was dismissed of all charges, whatever. Not trying to get into fucking details here. To Southern Soul. Now we're wrapping around Southern Soul. Don't put my feet down. And then this takes us back towards the east side, I think, isn't it? No, the west side of the island, which is how you get off the island. It'd have to be west. That way's north. According to the fucking geography that I just made up. It's kind of like basic shit. There's a bunch of like businesses back there. My dentist is back there. And fucking God knows where. A bunch of random stuff. I got a doctor that's around the corner up here. And you got this Island Fitness or something like that. This is the most overcharged gym. You'd think this is a fucking CrossFit, how much they charge. The club, right. It's like $50 for a regular basic bitch membership, I think, something like that. And then it's like goes up to like $100 a month for like the pool and all that other garbage. And then this road is the one that connects back towards the north end of the island, the one that I told you to take a right. That's where like all the Harris Teeter is. That's shopping, more shopping, lots of shopping on the island. Nothing that's worth a fuck, but there's a bunch of shopping on the island. There's like one good clothing store and tons of good food on the island, but it's all expensive, man. All right, Pathfinder, let's go. Now this would be leading off the island, but there's this merge, and I'm gonna take it because I'm gonna go back to the kind of the closer to the south end, I guess, where the pier is. The pier is where like all the businesses are hopping. I was down there earlier fucking around and stuff. I think that's the yacht club. It's for really rich white people. Oh, because that makes fucking sense, car. Not like there's a merge lane. Another thing that's kind of weird about St. Simon's is that the beach is kind of dirty. Like the water's very minerally and it's got like a lot of like debris in it. So all the water's kind of just like meh. Not bad, and it heals wounds really cool. Like if you got a cut on your foot or something like that and you're walking through the water, man, that's just gonna heal up quick. It's got a lot of natural minerals in it, but it's also got a lot of bacteria in it from what I've read, which isn't a lot. So who knows, that could be just completely bullshit. Everyone's looking for a scare. And this guy's got an awesome blinker. You know what? Fuck it. YOLO. And then here we are. This is the pier. This is where all like the major businesses do. Like super touristy, man. Talk about fucking just tourists for days, dude. It's expensive down here. There's a bunch of shirts with bullshit that no one cares about. But they're like, oh, it's good. I'm living on island time. Shut up. It's a nice vet though. Red and fast. That's what his license plate says. Red and fast. I should get a license plate that says red and faster for my bike. You got a bunch of spring breakers down here too. You know, you get a bunch of teenagers who run around and break stuff like I used to. Got a good ice cream store though, man. There's a lot of good eating around here. If you like seafood, man, I'm not going around there. Fuck that, dude. Just wait. People just fucking wait for parking spots, man. They're ridiculous. This woman looks like she's really uncomfortable. Gosh, she's walking. So uncomfortable. Anyway, that's the pier down there. It's just a big pier where people go out and fish and fucking do stupid stuff. And it's a nice place. It's very touristy. Very touristy. Nice chicksers, bro. And then if you were to go right, you'd be right back where we started. So that's pretty much it, man. That's the island for you. It's pretty nice. They just put in that mellow mushroom or whatever that is. It's pretty nice, too. There's lots of good food on the island. Both local and chain. But, man, all the good seafood, that's where it's at. If you like seafood, man, St. Simon's is the place to get it. I think that's it, guys. I think that's about all the island. I think I covered it all. I'm gonna go back to Brunswick where I live. Oh, soon I'll be living over here on the island though. I'm hungry.